So our skill for the month is responsibility, so why not make it a lovely rainbow? So this is your responsibility rainbow of ideas of how to integrate responsibility into your sessions. So the first one is definitely across the board, no matter what, every participant should be cleaning up after themselves. This obviously teaches responsibility if they have to put their greenbacks up when they're done. And the biggest thing that I see that doesn't get done is the mentors will go behind the session and get the manure if their horse poops in the arena. Don't let it happen. Make your participant clean up their own manure, go get the pitchfork, and clean up after themselves and their horse. Next would be chores. If your kid has responsibility as one of their main goals, they probably have a chore as part of their 3-part plan. But if it's not, or they don't have that, you can always implement that throughout your session. Filling up waters, feeding the cats, helping pick up manure, raking the barn aisle. There's always a chore that can be done to help teach your kiddo responsibility. Next would be horse care. So with all of these things, if they don't get done, there's consequences, right? If they don't clean up, their brushes could get broken, their water bottle could get lost. If they don't do chores, the horses might not have food or water, animals could get harmed. And with horse care, specifically, you can share, how can we care for our horse today? Do they need a fly mask? If not, they might get irritation. Do they need sunscreen? If not, they might get sunburnt. Do we need to make sure there's not rocks in their hooves, caring for them, and then explaining the consequences if we are not responsible for our horse. Time management is a great way to build responsibility as well. So if they struggle with getting everything done in their session, that's something that you can focus on, and we can come up with ways to help you do that. Maybe it's setting a timer on your phone or helping your kid decide how many minutes they want to dedicate towards each activity, and especially making sure to leave time at the end to clean up. And then kind of the core to all of these things is to recognize when they do them positively, because if you don't, it's not going to stick. So if we just remind them, and empower them to do these things, but then when they do them of their own volition and we don't recognize, it's not going to stick. So if it's something even as tiny as they set their brush down in their box nicely and don't throw it in, you can thank them for being responsible and for caring for their brushes. If they say, oh, we better hurry up because we only have a couple minutes left, recognize that, acknowledge that whenever they take on ownership. If they clean up after themselves without asking, thank them for that. Tell them that you admire them and you think that they are doing a great job being responsible for themselves, for their horse, or for their belongings. So there's your responsibility rainbow about ways to integrate that into your sessions this month.